Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. I am back. It has been a while, and I'm going to be casting a game today on a new map, one that I have never shown you before, Adaptive Adrestia. I think that might be how you pronounce it, but you know what? I'm just going to move on, even if it's not. Cookie Noob can let me know if he sees this. Let me go ahead and introduce the teams. This map is played left versus right, and then I want to say a couple of things about the map because it is an interesting one. Aggressive is taking Seraphim on the front line. We've got ICOM as Aeon joining him. This is an asymmetrically balanced map, which means that you've kind of got 2v1 in a place, and it's not exactly lined up where each player is versus another player is a dedicated thing, but you'll see how the map flows as the game progresses, I hope. Aleph is Aeon. We have No, who is actually No. That's I am not familiar with who that is. He is Cybern in the air slot. We've got Once Handsome UEF on this one, and then Cups as Aeon. Both of these guys will kind of be versus these two, although there's usually a double team ACU versus this side, and then we've got the middle facing off, air slots facing off, and then the same thing up here with 2 and 2. Left-hand team, let's run down the names. CHP, Seraphim on the front line for the South. We've got Vibraxis, he is Cybern. Cybern in the air slot as well for It's Your Funeral. Crizzle on the front line with Seraphim. Then we have got Lape. He is Seraphim as well, and Seraphim again. My goodness, a lot of Seraphim for Jaguar. I can't even pronounce that name. Zeljana, maybe. I'm going to call him by the name I know him by. Alright, so a little bit about the map. It is an adaptive map. It has a little bit of extra reclaim turned on. So that is why there is all of the green and all of the navy wrecks, which means that this game is going to get rolling very, very quickly due to all of the mass available at the beginning of the game. You got a destroyer there, a handful of frigates. You got another destroyer. I think there's one. That is a destroyer. And then there's another here. That is a destroyer. So everybody gets a destroyer, except the air player who is left out. He's got a couple of T1 bomber wrecks, and that is all he's got, unless he wants to drop. 8 mechs on the plateau. That is the word I was looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if he builds a transport and claims both of the mesas. Alright, let's talk a little bit about this thing. I like this map. I've played it a couple of times already because it equally rewards land, air, and navy, and it is a rare map to find that is that way. There are a couple of hills here that you can kind of hide behind. Frigates cannot hit the entire neck from either side. You will need T1 navy because if you lose, you are screwed. You will need T1 land because if you lose the neck, you are screwed. And you've got the perfect little face-off right here over the reclaim. It is not easy to determine a winner at any point in a game on this map because things turn rather violently, again, as I hope you will see. T1 transport out for Chief Jaguar. He's dropping those 3 extra mass extractors on the base behind him. And looking around the rest of the map, we do have a couple of interesting things going on. I see some Seraphim artillery. Aggressive has aggressively postured that arty, and then we've got a couple of tanks down here, Auroras, floating out across the water, light as you please, even though they are relatively massive units according to the lore of the game. There's a lot of Aeon on this side, and there's a lot of Seraphim on this side, and that makes for an interesting matchup since both of them have hover units, but Auroras will come out on top if it's only Auroras versus only Arty. So, even though Seraphim gains a huge rating advantage with those artilleries, the right-hand side has the perfect counter in its floaty tanks. Jaguar killing some of said floaty tanks as he moves forward. Those are ICOMs right over here. They could actually skip Navy entirely if they were brave enough and could devote enough mass to it, and they just flooded this bank. That flooded like the chat is now flooded by the notification mod. Flooded the other bank with tanks and artillery together. That is a lot of land factories. A lot of land factories indeed. And I would like to say something about that because I literally had someone today ask me, Brink, why do people build so many land factories? That is a gun upgrade. This is going to be a fun game, I can already tell. You build so many land factories because you want to be able to spend at least 110% of your mass. If you're spending 10, you want to be Or if you're making 10, you want to be able to spend 11 or 12. And if you're making 100, you want to be able to spend 110, 120. Something like that. And the reason for that is exactly what Krizzle is doing right now. He has built a lot of land factories. He has built a lot of units. His opponent does not have any early build power other than his engineers. Engineers are flexible. They are mobile. But they are fragile. And since Aleph was trying to build his factories up here, he was slow to get tanks online. When you have more factories, you have more tanks, and therefore you can do more damage. It might seem nice to sit in the back and spend all of your mass by getting T2 mass extractor upgrades. See, only one T2 over here and one T2 over there, but you will notice that Krizzle now has the entire neck. He has access to 5 more mass extractors than his opponent does. He will very quickly catch up to and outstrip his opponent on economy, and he already has literally 10 times as many tanks. More than that, because there are 0 on the right-hand side, and there are a huge number over here. So you do the math on that one, he is ahead. I'll leave it at that. Jaguar mowing down a bunch of T1 units up here. He is advancing quite well indeed. Icom moving forward, though, with the double gun upgrade, which is going to complicate things for Jaguar. On the south side, it's a bit of a Mexican standoff. We've got 5 T1 subs versus a couple of frigates, but the torpedo launchers pretty well hard counter subs. So yeah, they're just going to have to stay on their respective sides, and we will determine a winner at a later date. So what happens here is you have a bunch of build power. You only have a couple of factories. You can't effectively use all of your build power. You can't effectively use all of your mass. Aleph is stalling on power because it's just bad management. It's not 2 resources. Subcom has 3 resources: power, mass, and build power. If you want to cripple somebody, you can cripple their power supply, or you can cripple their build power, and they simply can't spend all of their mass. And Krizzle is now experiencing this problem. So, at the end of the day, you want to be able to build more tanks than the other guy, and more factory helps you build more tanks. I think I scared him with the game that I played on Bermuda Locket, where I had built 30 or 40 factories at once because I was reclaiming like crazy and had over 100 mass income, and I just needed to spend all of the freaking mass. And that is why you build factories. Late pushing aggressive back. Aggressive at about half health. That is not a good sign when you're in a game like this. Jaguar falling back as well in the face of that Aeon double gun comm. That can provide problems for the best of players due to the fact that it outranges pretty much everything at the T1 phase and most things at the T2 phase. CHP taking a lot of fire from these Auroras. He does not have any units to back him up. He needs to get some tanks up there ASAP because these Auroras are shredding his health and his ACU is hitting the dirt. Although the Auroras are also hitting the dirt in large part, so I guess I don't need to be worried about it after all. CHP does have a gun comm as well, which is going to help him wipe out all of those units in quick time, and if he just gets a veterancy or 2 under his belt, he will probably be fine. I spy with my little eye a naughty, naughty Corsair. It appears that No is attempting to set up a snipe. It's going to be interesting if he can be successful, because for every bomber he builds, he is building fewer interceptors. However, he does have a good head start on production. He does have a lot of build power on production, and it appears that he is very much ahead on mass. Look at all of the purple mass extractors. My goodness, it's your funeral has expanded quite well. He has got 37 income versus the 35 of No. So even though there's more T2 mass extractors up on the plateau, that is not the end of the story. So Jaguar's walking while he's upgrading. Not sure what that's all about, but I am reasonably certain it wasn't intentional. I do believe that that bug has been removed. Krizzle has finally completely overpowered his opponent. There is a single T2 mass extractor left here at 177 health, but since he has no power with which to use said mass, he cannot do anything, and his ACU is out in the middle. It was forced around the bend here. He does have the shield generator, but it is not doing him any good in his current situation. Lape is getting forced back again by that Aeon gun comm, which is just nasty, nasty business. Chief Jaguar trying to make up for in production what he lacks in range. He does have T2 as well, building a T2 engineer, I am sure, to start planting some T2 point defense. Corsairs are on the move. This is about to get nasty, folks. Oh my goodness, T1 power getting hit in a bad way. Jaguar sending in a couple of those T1 bombers just to harass the ever-living snot out of this player. Just as he was trying to get the gun upgrade, he loses all of his power and it comes to a screeching halt. And Krizzle taking advantage of the situation. He is sending all of his artillery into the build power of his opponents, and that's not going to end well. Oh my. That's Corsairs heading towards Jaguar. This is not going to end well. Taking the full hit of those Corsairs even while he engages with the enemy gun comm, taking an overcharge to the face and multiple guns. There is no way to survive a hit like that. Jaguar is out of here. 6,000 health left on ICOM's commander. All of this is going to go poof. Leip is about to be in a bad spot. He does not have enough production to counteract what is going on. This starts getting horribly inefficient because you're dealing with so much roll-off time when you're trying to assist a T1 factory with this many engineers. It's better if you have it on a T2 factory or some such thing. Corsairs heading to the middle. Looks like they are going to fly directly over Krizzle. I would have taken that opportunity if I were the air player. There's a ping. The Corsairs are turning, and Krizzle, you better abandon that upgrade. There it is. Corsairs do about 1,000 damage per pass. If you're dodging perfectly, they don't deal their entire damage, but they usually deal at least some damage to the commander because of the way that their missiles fire. They kind of correct their aim a fair bit. Krizzle taking a lot of hits, 2,800 health. He might make it to the water. 3 Corsair firing cycles determine otherwise. Krizzle is out, but not before he manages to wipe out literally the entire blue base. Well, okay, not literally. There is a single T2 mass extractor right there in the back, but almost completely wipe out blue space. He's taken out all of the eco for, who is that? That is aggressive. He's taken out almost the entire eco of aggressive. Things are looking reasonably good on the north side, and now basically both teams are without a mid player. What does not look good, though, is this. On the left, at the top, there are T1 units coming into the base. It's not pretty. He was trying to get a T2 upgrade on that factory, and the decrease in the amount of tanks cost him the front line. Hopefully he will get an Ilshiva out, though, that will rectify the situation. Leip kind of hanging out in the water here, trying to get an upgrade. And meanwhile, Aggressive's comm is now moving up, and this is going to be bad, bad news. Seraphim has an open land factory, and this is a problem because the T1 artillery can lock the factory. They destroy the Ilshiva on the pad as it is building. Thing is not able to make it out, and you're screwed because you just don't have any units. Air is now lost to the right-hand side. All of those Corsairs, 2 ACU deaths, and what do you get for it? A decrease in interceptor production that costs you air control. T1, I'm not sure what that was doing. It was dropping right here. So it's your funeral, getting more engineers on the field, trying to claim as much economy as he possibly can, and has 49 mass income to show for it. He is way ahead on his eco. Aggressive easily taking care of a couple of Ilshivas that have managed to come out. They killed some of the units. Alas, they cannot kill the commander, and it looks like those Corsairs are going to be able to knock out that T2 HQ. So what do we got going on the south side? I've not checked down here in a few minutes. We've got red moving in, demolishing the bases, desecrating the homeland, and overall doing nasty, nasty things to the economies of these two players on the south side. Obviously, we got a couple of T2 mass extractors up on the ridge that cannot be easily affected by units on the ground. Yeah, just set your ACU up there, and you will be safe and sound. Can build T2 point defense on the edge of the cliffs, and you should be good. Aggressive, moving into the base in an aggressive posture. Interceptors knocking down those bombers. I don't think, though, that was very good micro. I would not have manually controlled those, and I definitely would not have focus fired them all on a single target. What the hell are you doing? Cups is flying his ACU to the north. You got mass extractors. Kid, you got things to build. Why you coming this way? Interceptors have seen it. They are headed here. Transport's trying to drop. The drop is placed. Lowering. No! Oh, the deaths of 100 interceptors traded for the commander. I think it's worth it. That is a dead ACU. And meanwhile, the map continues to turn topsy-turvy. Looks like Aggressive has managed to secure the entirety of Lape's base. Lape is now trapped out in the water with nothing to his name, and those units continue to flow in and destroy all of the pretty purple things that It's Your Funeral has just created. Maybe he'll be able to come up with some kind of solution for that, but in the meantime, he's going to lose out on all of that. Thankfully, the cliffs are tall enough that I don't think any of the T1 artillery is going to be able to target any eco items up on the cliff. Corsair coming out. Corsair's unfortunately rather bad at killing off groups of units. They don't have a ton of area of effect. It's a rather focused shot. Excellent at sniping, excellent at killing buildings. Anything that requires single target removal, Corsairs are pretty dang good at. But yeah, they just can't handle groups. Sadly enough, Cybern cannot be OP at everything. Once Handsome and Aleph headed into the water. Once Handsome taking some AoE fire from the Corsair before he gets his head completely under the water. T2 Point Defense trying to eliminate a couple of these things, but alas, they shall not be successful. Destroyers probably focus firing their torps on Once Handsome. Yes, I am correct. He is down to 700 health, 1700 health, and dipping quickly. We shall very soon witness a nuclear explosion on that side. There it goes, stripping away some of the HP on Aleph's ACU shield. I am sure that he will join his teammate in Valhalla shortly. Red units moving up through Aleph's base. He just was getting himself rebuilt after the devastation wrought upon him by Krizzle, and now he is losing it all over again. This is the worst kind of game to play in, where over and over again you just get the depressing realization that you're going to lose your base and there's nothing at all that you can do about it. Bad place to get stuck in. Artillery coming to the south side, trying to replicate Krizzle's success in the north, trying to eliminate a lot of the build power here. Engineers quite vulnerable out on the water, although there are some frigates here. They'll be able to kite out, kill a lot of the artillery before it even reaches the base, and those that are left will be dealt with in short time. Aleph taking a lot of fire, but he is doing a good job dodging. Oh no, I spoke too soon. There are Corsairs, there are units, and all in all, I don't think he has much chance of avoiding his own death. 1200 health. Oh, nope, dance for me. 1200 health again as he regens. Can we see 1200 a third time? Nope, it is down to 7, 6, 5, and kaboom. That is all she wrote. Taking a whole lot of red units with him, but it is not going to be enough. So now it has turned roughly from right versus left to north versus south, because now Aggressive holds the entirety of the northern plains. He is rapidly, oh my goodness, that was a big drop. Alright, so we got T2 transports loading up with artillery. They're coming over here, demolishing It's Your Funeral's base. We got Corsairs on the ACU. Interceptors being built by Aggressive to assist in air control. Corsairs are the main problem. T1 anti-air going down in a desperate attempt to save that ACU. More artillery dropping on the other side. This is just disheartening to watch. It really is. You know you're gonna die. It's just a matter of how quickly, and there it is. It is now 2 versus 3. Not looking good for the left-hand side. This is a 17, 14, and 1500 rated player group versus an 800 and a 1200. Guys, if you can pull this off, I will be the happiest man alive, but I'm not giving you good chances. Although, Although, I did not realize, there are 6 Salems. 6 Salems on the south side. Say that 10 times fast, I might have just discovered a little bit of a tongue twister. And also, we have got a massive air invasion headed towards this base. Apparently, he saw what happened to his air player, and CHP is going to try to replicate that success over on this side. Maybe it will work out for him. We can only hope. T2 bombers and T2 torpedo bombers out for aggressive. He is grouping up a scout to try to figure out what he can kill. Flak dropping those transports, one completely full of units. Artillery's at half health all over the place, but look at this damage. Oh my goodness. Arties are so brutal when they come in and lay down their hurt. He's going to lose a T2 Gen. I just feel it. Come on, one more firing cycle. One more firing cycle. No! Not the bomb for the win. 6 Arty in one shot. T2 Gen is down. ACU trying to clean up what's left. 4 artillery left alive. Volley, guys. Volley. You can see how much damage that does. 2 more shots. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. No! 40 health. And people said that 6 regen a second on Cybern structures would never come to any use. Guys, it just saved a T2 Gen. It literally just saved a T2 Gen. That thing is back up to 100 HP. Salems have gotten in the other water now. They have crossed the land divide, and they are now within striking distance of the bases on the north. This is about to get very, very interesting. We've got a couple of cruisers on the south side, kind of locking down a perimeter where air cannot pass, and more Salems moving to the north. One of those Salems has just died. I'm not sure to what. Maybe it was very low health. I know there was a bomber over there. Something happened to it that was not good. ICOM is in the water. He does not have a shield. If they were to focus fire him with torpedoes, they could probably kill him very quickly, but I don't think that is a priority at the moment, trying to get rid of that T2 HQ, and lock it is. Bombers coming in, eliminating another one of the Salems. They might just save this situation. Air control is going to have to be a priority for the southern players if this is going to work. Oh, snap! I totally forgot. It is 3 versus 3. There's Lape trying to finish his gun upgrade, maybe? Trying to finish his gun upgrade with no eco. He's got 2 mass extractors. That's all he's got. 2 mass extractors, 20 power income. Oh, that is fantastic. 1 mass, 20 power, minus 284. That's the way to do it, folks. Ecoing like a pro. Aggressive, moving into the water. He is going to lose this position, which is unfortunate, but he will gain it back. I do believe he's got T2 and a gun on his comm, so he will be able to push that away. How this is going to end, I know not, because it could honestly go either way. Look at the hordes of T1 artillery. When in Seraphim, when in doubt, build more RT, because it can do wonderful things, and both players, both teams are living by this motto. We have loads of RT on this side. Let's actually get ourselves a real number, shall we? We have got 89 RT on the north versus 262. 200. How? Why? Why would you do this thing? I don't understand. Also, I don't understand why Vibraxis is literally on the doorstep of No's base. That does not make a whole lot of sense to me. Although No does not have any radar, so he can't see him, so I guess it's no big deal. Scouts coming out, trying to find the important things that need the killing, and Seraphim artillery just mowing everything down. There are Salems crossing the divide once again. We've got 4 moving into that water. They are going to be able to provide a little bit of anti-air cover for the artillery. They're going to be able to pick off the enemy artillery and allow the friendlies to move in closer. We've got 2 destroyers versus 4. The Arty is going to have something to say about that, but in the end, I think Aeon is going to lose out. So many artillery And there were more dropped up here, but unfortunately not enough to really do any damage. The shielding is protecting everything. The Corsairs now, though, have figured out that there is stuff on the ground. They're auto-targeting. Unfortunate for them because there are cruisers, so he's going to lose quite a few. But those Corsairs moving to the north to try to assist with some of the stuff that is happening up there. Leip has got gunships on him, but he has got nano, and he has got gun, and he is determined to get in here and wreck some stuff. T2 Gen should be a priority. Please kill that. Please kill that. It would make me so very happy indeed. T2 Gens always need to die, no matter the situation. We got another cruiser over here. Frigates guarding the pass. We do have some Iljvas starting to move forward, which are going to be able to take the neck and counter some of that artillery that is flowing across unhampered. Leip taking some point defense fire to the face, but he is going to survive thanks to that nano. 13,000 HP, 3 vet. He still has some more vet to go. Does he have overcharge? That is the question. The answer is yes, but very slowly. Corsairs coming in, dealing a devastating blow. 3,000 health remaining. He got the Artie got the point defense down. There go all the Corsairs, so he now does not have to worry about that. He's got 10 regen a second, which is not enough to survive a gun comm. ICOM getting into range. There's Corsairs, 3,600 health, 22, 21, and the damage keeps coming in. ICOM taking a few hits from that destroyer. Here goes Leip coming in for the nuclear hug. 5, 4, 1, and boom! Leaving 2,900 health on that ACU. Da-da-da-da-da. Another one bites dust. There are quite a few of them to do so, actually. 800 health on ICOM. A couple of arty shots is all it's going to take. Dance! Dance, man! You gotta dodge it. 1K, he's actually regenning. And not a single Salem shot connecting. Look at the boots on this son of a gun. No! He walked in a straight line for like a second and a half. Took about 20 arty shots to the face. And that was that. Well, that's a bit depressing. Did I miss? When did Aggressive die? Oh my goodness. Aggressive bailed. He just quit. Why would you quit? You could have won that. Well, I don't know. I don't know. The Salem Zooey combo was wrecking faces. So I suppose... I don't know. I guess at this point it was probably going to go for South. Probably going to go for South. I just realized that my microphone is probably way too close and that I have been maxing it out this entire time. So hopefully you can forgive me if the audio was of low quality for this one. Let me bump the fast forward button and we shall wait until the air player dies, because unless he pulls off a miracle snipe, I don't think there's any other way that this can end. No, you better get ready to meet your maker, because it looks like we do have T3 air on this side. That means it is only a matter of time until strat bombers come your way. Well, it is nice to be back in a cast, and this was an exceptionally good game. Huge, huge thank you to Vibraxis for sending it to me. It is always useful when I get excellent replays. Here comes the air for the win. Gonna secure a victory there. And there's already a strat bomber built. So, like I said, only a matter of time. I hope you guys enjoy playing and watching new maps being played. I would encourage you, if you're typically the kind of person who only plays one kind of map, I can tell you, you're gonna lose horribly the first couple of times that you play on a new map, but it makes you a better player to experience new things. It brings a fresh atmosphere to the game when you are able to experience the new maps. And all in all, I just love seeing new things coming to SupCom, and this map in particular is a good one. Alrighty guys, that is going to wrap up that game. Hopefully you had a good time. Definitely had a good time bringing it to you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.